I mean, you had your chance and then you blew it.
That is the most absurd statement of the year.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, baby!
I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it.
Live from West St. Paul Studios, it's time for MinneZona Sports Live with DJ Matty C and Paul the Shield Vold.
And this is MinneZona Sports Live. We are back. Yes, Super Bowl Special 5, baby.
Yes,
Fifth annual Super Bowl Special. Yes, claps all around. We are looking forward to bringing you our 5th annual Super Bowl Special, and I am, without further ado, your host, DJ Matty C, a.k.a. Matt Callahan, a.k.a. Callie, a.k.a. Matty C, etc., 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 and all the way in Granite City Studios in St. Cloud, Minnesota, Paul Volta, Shield. What is going on there, Shield?
I have been looking forward to this show basically since January 1st, just because I love the Super Bowl show, love the Super Bowl special. All the people that we've had over the years kind of chime in a little bit from last year, the year before that. Now to this point, there's a lot of mixed feelings about how the Super Bowl is going to end up, what we're feeling, how we're doing. But, I mean, in all, what would you rather be doing on just a plain old February 9th Sunday? I mean, this certainly is the last football game of the NFL season. What else would you rather be doing right now? I mean, we've got a lot to talk about here. As you can see, I've got all the gear ready to go here, Kansas City and Philly. Believe it or not, that's right. We got the Macklin jerseys behind me. Got some Carson Wentz in the mix too. I mean, it's the Macklin Bowl, the Wentz Bowl, whatever you want to throw out there. There is a lot going on here, and I can't wait to dive right all into it.
And with that being said, Voldy, we have some guests.
Yes,
we have some guests lined up for today, and one of them being a gentleman that has been on before and has made a lot of awesome bets for you, the zoners, to cash in on. So we welcome to the show again the 2023 Guest of the Year. Yes, Eric Moser. Yes, there he is.
How's Daddy?
Stop, gentlemen.
How we feeling? How we feeling?
Yeah, how we doing?
We're good. I don't know if you can tell where I'm going with the day, but I brought all the green out.
You brought all the
green
green out.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
okay. I think I
fine.
know where you're leaning. So there we go.
Yeah, money.
Money. Yes, that's right.
I like
That's
it.
right.
Yep.
That is right. So, Voldy tells me that there's something you want to bring to the zoners today, and we could even call this a official segment of MinneZona Sports Live, if you're willing. Moser's Money Corner, baby. I think Voldy's got some questions, and let's check. Let's go on over to Moser's Money Corner. What do we got?
Oh,
All right. There we go. We're official. We got to start off here first off. Of course, we had you on last year. We were in person there. We were gearing up for the 49ers to take down Kansas City. Sadly, that didn't work out so much. How did we fare from all the bets placed Super Bowl 58? Did we recoup? Did we make money? Did we lose money? How did we fare out of Super Bowl 58?
yeah. I think I came close to even.
Okay.
I believe I was really hoping. I took a hardcore bet on the no tears during the national anthem, and that was squashed in about the first 12 seconds.
Damn you, Chris Jones.
Reasonably so. Big game, I thought the guys were going to be dialed up and have the emotions in check, but, some can't handle the stage, and I think it was a 49ers player that was actually the one crying, and look where that got him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I missed out on that one and the Gatorade color, but I did okay. I think I busted even that day. I lost some money to the players at our Super Bowl party, that's for sure, but playing some horses and whatnot. But
Yes, sir. I made some money on that.
yes, you did.
I think I doubled my money coming into that, so I felt pretty good about that out of it all.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, hey, we've got the same deal going on today. We'll play some horses, do a little gambling, some squares. Obviously, I'll have my own little parlay and picks in there. But it's been a good month and a half, 2 months not having to pay the bookie. I've been receiving the money, not having to pay the money. So it's been good.
Yeah. And that's one thing we wanted to get to also, of course, with your recent little streak there you've got going on. But what are we looking at here with this matchup? Moser's Money Corner. What are we hedging out here as some maybe some locks that you've got that's going to be easy to swing for those that might be on the fence a little bit. What do you see as a couple of locks here for a couple bets that people can maybe look into?
I think you'd be dumb to not put the mortgage on any time Saquon touchdown. I like him. I've got him going over 95 on the ground today.
Okay. All right.
I've got Jalen Hurts tush push touchdown.
Love it.
And from my boy Michael Robert Burke Lawrence, he is convinced that Patrick Mahomes is going to run one in. So
I like that too.
And I think the odds on a Mahomes touchdown is like plus 230 on all the books. So if you're as confident as Mr. Lawrence, I would put some money on there, a little close to 2.5 to 1 odds. So and I like the Birds. I like the Birds in this game. I think 2 years ago they learned their lesson. And I think they've got the weapons. Now, they're only going to fucking win it. They're only going to win this game. Yeah.
It's all right. You get one. You get one.
Get the dump button. They're only going to win this game. They can't rely on Saquon to win this game for them. He is going to do his part, but they need to, with that run game, they need to disguise some chunk plays through the air, and Jalen Hurts has to be on it. Obviously, I'm kind of one of those people too that's like, okay, Kansas City gets favored by the referees quite a bit. Who knows what kind of crew we're going to have tonight? But
Illuminati.
It's Mahomes and the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
It doesn't matter what kind of game it is; they're always in it for whatever reason. And I think Hurts in the passing game has to come alive and kind of offset that running game that they have with Saquon today to get it done.
I like that. I mean, one thing I've seen too with the Eagles, really relying on that tight end, Dallas Goedert, South Dakota State product, Britton Heckla High School. I remember seeing a couple of things out of him in his time in high school, leading up to, of course, his time at South Dakota State. I think that's going to be a big factor with the passing game for sure. Because I mean, like you said, you can rely on Saquon all you want, but Kansas City is going to be keying on that, and if you can really get Goddard going early. He's been a bit of a matchup problem here this postseason, but I really like that out of that. But now we got to talk about what you're going to be looking at with your bets. You got a couple parlays put in, I would imagine. What's the big ticket one you've got that you're going to be funneling, that you've already funneled the most cash into, that you're staking your claim? You know, I know we already talked about the anytime touchdowns there with the tush push and Saquon, but maybe what's one you're looking at that you've got a little bit more invested into?
I mean, that is kind of, I gave you all individual ones, but all of those are pretty much coming together as the big ticket item there.
All right.
I've got, Saquon over 95, Hurts, Saquon, and Mahomes in the end zone on the feet, and I've got the Eagles to win it today. I got them on the money line. Give me a little extra boost. They're plus 1.5 in this game, but I don't want to rely on points or the L. I want to take them outright. I want to do this hard, do it the right way. I got Eagles money line too.
Great cash, homie.
Yes, sir.
That's the big one. I'm sure, you know, once I get into the back room there and the juices start flowing, I'm gonna pick up the live bets. I'm gonna throw in some game time decisions. But we're down money. We're looking to get it back today.
Gotta get it.
Yeah, I need that red number to turn green after the Super Bowl game today. So that's what we're looking to do, and we'll see how it goes. But I've been let down once before. Hopefully today's the day where it changes on Super Bowl Sunday. But we'll see. You never know.
You have not lived until you've seen Eric Moser live betting pre-game. Just he gets a couple of pops in him and he is just locked in. Lock it down, guy, gets it rolling.
There you go.
Yeah, it would be when I'm at home and like my girlfriend's sitting on the couch and I've got some random basketball game on or whatever. I'm bored, so I'm just putting money on it. You would think I was a crazy person if there was a camera in that room. I'm hunched over, grabbing at the knees on the pants, sitting down in front of the TV, pacing back and forth. She has slowly, over the last couple of months, kind of picked up on what sports gambling is and the pluses, the minuses, the points, the spread. Because she asked her questions and she's trying to figure out reasonably so why I'm such a psychopath. But
with love.
Exactly. And unfortunately, it's starting to really slow down for me. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. I was betting on University of Northern Iowa versus Illinois State basketball last night.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So,
Moser, this is a safe
really
space. We are here to support you in your decisions. We are your ally here. This is not an intervention.
Yeah, that's right.
But we need you to lock it down.
I think after today, I'm really going to start going nose deep in the NHL, coming down the playoff stretch.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's kind of it's weird going from, especially that Christmas time, all the bowl games and football and stuff. There's stuff on every single day. Now I'm like, I'm betting on soccer. I bet on the Australian Open. I stayed up for the 2:30 a.m. Like, I saw the Madison Keys semifinal. I was just up watching it, and I was thinking about live betting it, and I didn't. Crap. But because I was gonna bet the American Madison Keys, and she got the job done. Took down world number 2.
There you go.
Nice. And then I stayed up Saturday night after our hockey game. I stayed up and was watching the Australian Open final, world number 1 versus Madison Keys 19, and watching Madison Keys win her first ever Australian Open. So I was up from like 2:30 until like 5 or 6 a.m. watching this tennis match, and I had money on Madison Keys, so that one paid off. But yeah, it kind of got me hooked on tennis. I'm kind of a fan. I figured out the scoring, and
nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It was interesting.
That's awesome. Of course, you got some things coming up here later today. You're going to get all the boys together at the rink there. I know last year was a real good time with a little bit of fun, some games. You had some squares, a little bit of a spread too from House of Pizza. I believe that was. What's on the menu? What do you got on tap here for the team here today?
Well, we are going with another one of our corporate sponsors. We have Raising Cane's sponsoring
Yes.
tonight.
Yes. Love it.
Yep, we've got the chicken fingers, we've got the toast, we got the fries, we got the cane sauce. It's all ready to go.
Nice.
One thing I do regret, though, that I feel like is key is the homemade stuff. I meant to, reach out to Billets and see if they could send their guys. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But the old homemade dips and chips and all that stuff. It kind of makes the Super Bowl party. So. Missing out on that, but shout out to Raising Cane's for helping us out today. Going to be super pumped to eat some chicken fingers.
I love it. Of course, before we get you off here for the big party you got coming up, you got time for a couple rapid fire questions there, Mose?
Fire 'em away.
All right, we got to start off. Of course, we just got done talking about the food. What is the go-to Super Bowl plate? What are you setting down? Plate number one there. What's kind of the go-to foods there for you for the big game?
Big chip and dip guy.
Okay.
So give me some taco dip. Highlight it with a little bit of buffalo chicken dip.
I like it.
I'm a cheese and cracker guy too. Just something you can walk by and walk and talk and eat. Those are definitely up there. I mean, depending on the spread, chicken wings. Today we're going with chicken tenders. But I would say that's kind of the highlight. That's the top for me.
I like that. Best halftime show that you remember watching. What's been the best halftime show?
Ooh, let's go.
Oh, I would say, who was it? I was it? Where was SoFi Stadium? Was it 2 years ago? Last year? Was it Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that old school. I'm really looking forward to the show tonight. I hope he sings the song. I really hope he does after Kendrick Lamar, after winning 5 Grammys on a diss track. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I've heard some rumblings that some legal stuff might come into play where he won't.
We'll see.
He might not sing the song, but I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll bust the top off of that arena.
I love it. What is a more worse fan base between these two teams, Chiefs or Eagles? Which one do you just cannot stand the life of?
I mean, Eagles fans are dirtbags through and through. I'm sorry, but
it's true.
Don't go enjoy your team. Don't be a jerk. All right, I'll leave it at that. I got my one out of the way, but I can get the show canceled if I go in depth. But yeah, just I don't know why you got to be such a dirtbag. Just let people cheer for their team. You cheer for yours. You don't have to, call people names and swear at them and stuff. And that's rich coming out of my mouth. I know that, but just let people enjoy their respected teams and go into enemy territory and that's part of being a sports fan too. Is going to different venues and seeing your team play and stuff. And the last place I want to go is to Philadelphia wearing my team's jersey that's playing out of town, So I would say, I mean, Kansas City fans in their own right are, whatever. But, Philly, I think they're brutal. I mean, hey, they're loyal to their team, but to a fault. And it's a little much what you see on social media.
I like it. What is your ideal Super Bowl matchup and a halftime show to go along with it? Which two teams, which halftime show do you want to see?
Oh, well, obviously I would love to see the Bears, make it to another Super Bowl. So the Bears versus whoever they could beat that doesn't involve relying on a Carlos Santos kick to win it. halftime show. Give me Sexy Red. Sexy
Ooh.
especially with her new song that came out with Bruno Mars. It's incredible. It's called Fat, Juicy, and Wet, if that explains anything. But if you want to start your night off on the right foot, just play that song and it'll get you going. But I saw her at Lollapalooza this summer, and she surprisingly put on an absolute clinic. So, and obviously, you know, that would spark some interest from a lot of people. But I think she wouldn't have a care in the world and do whatever she wanted. So, shout out Sexy.
All right, final question here for you. Of course, it's the big question. Who do you have winning tonight? What's the final score?
I've got Birds. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Final score, haven't really thought that deep, but I think there's going to be over 5.5 touchdowns in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a gunslinger shootout. And yeah, I don't know. Give me like 36-27. Birds.
Okay. I like that.
I don't know. I want it to be a shootout. I want it to be interesting. I don't want 6, 7, 8, 9 minute drives. I want it bang, bang, bang. Get the ball up and down the field. We don't want to rely on kicks. We're going for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You know, bring the energy, bring the heat, give people what they want, and we're not asking for corn dogs. We're asking for a shootout.
I love it. Moser's Money Corner here joining us with the Super Bowl special. Mose, I know you're a busy guy as always. Matt, you've got a couple questions here.
I got one question for you. We're related in relation to the Bears. Ben Johnson, absurd or approved the hire of Ben Johnson for your Chicago Bears? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, approved. Approved to a fault, though, right? We've been through this revolving door of this is the answer, this is the answer, this is the answer. Actions are going to speak louder than words. We'll see what we get from them. But I think we've got slowly plugging away to get the pieces in place. Obviously, we've got some deadly weapons on offense. We need some deadly weapons on the offensive line to help out Caleb Williams. But after his first year, I thought he held his own under the circumstances. And, you know, I think he earned respect of the city and the fans and the organization. Obviously, he has some growing to do, but Ben Johnson, hopefully he can come in and put together an offense that fits into his hand and the weapons they have, and hopefully can recoup some help on the offensive line.
I think that's what they desperately need, too. Offensive line help would be very helpful, to say the least, for them. And then the last thing I got for you, and it's one of these things where you look at what the Bears got on offense, Ben Johnson, what he did with the Lions and everything. There's been a lot of people that have been saying he just phoned it in against the Lions, didn't really give a hoot either way. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he was just like, I got the Bears job, so I don't care? What do you think on that?
I think that they should. I don't think you should be like, they should almost implement a rule, or it's tough, right? It's people's careers, right? So you're constantly, you have to do what's best for yourself and your family and all that stuff. I totally get it. But I think there's got to be some sort of rule, if not a team rule or something, where it's like, okay, as soon as the Eagles win tonight, then you can start your negotiations and your interview processes and stuff like that. Give everybody a fair shake and chance. I mean, I guess the fair shake and chance doesn't really, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I think it was just kind of like you start taking interviews while you're about to start playoffs and try and make this run. Where's your head at? Is it about the next paycheck, or is it about trying to be in the moment and win with the team? And who's to say if that had anything to do with the Lions or his head being there or not? But I don't know, after losing in the first round, I know it was the second round with the bye, but not winning a playoff game this year, with him going and doing the interviews, people could say that that's the reason they lost, but yeah, I think they should visit that and look at it as the NFL as a whole, if not, kind of a team situation. It'll be interesting to see what the Lions do with their staff this year now that everybody has kind of up and left. But yeah, I think it would be an interesting kind of shakeup of a rule. That way you don't run into that issue.
Right. I agree.
So.
And yeah, it's, I don't know, like teams like to just get on this right away, right? They want to get those coordinators in and get going on the process of what they're going to do in the off season and whatnot. So just curious your thoughts on that. So, but yeah, that's all I got. So.
There we
Well,
go.
boys, hopefully you guys enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. We'll be sweating out some bets in the man cave in the back.
That's right.
As always, a pleasure being on with you fellas, and looking forward to the next time. Go Birds!
Go Birds.
There you
Appreciate
go.
it, Mose. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, later, fellas. Be good.
See ya.
We'll see ya.
All right, Eric Moser joining us, and
Bum, ba-da-bum.
Tate is here as well to
Tate, who
join
do you
us.
have winning the Super Bowl?
He's looking very curious. I think that shirt is that green? I can't tell. Grayish,
Yeah.
greenish.
What's it say? Mommy's Little Monster.
Oh,
That's-
okay. So I wonder if it's Eagle Apparel is where we're going with it. So I love it. That is sweet. But so yeah, we got Moser on. We have one more guest to come on, but before we do that, Voldy, I think we should do over under
Run through.
real
let's run
quick,
through
and
them.
then we will get our next guest on. But real quick, there was some news today that a certain I think it was yesterday. It might have been yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. That a certain player by the name of Randy Moss returned to ESPN NFL Countdown after his long hiatus. I can't remember which week it was.
I think it was
when he
2 months they said he
okay,
was gone. So,
yeah, so 2 months he was gone. They had a great tribute and saying, they're praying for him. Justin Jefferson was, throwing out his well wishes, and all these NFL players, which is really cool to see. So tonight, or not even tonight, I guess it's this afternoon. I'm so used to doing this at 7 o'clock. But in honor of Randy Moss coming back, especially for the Super Bowl, that is quite awesome. So tonight, I am, in fact, wearing a Randy Moss jersey tonight. Yes.
Nice. I like
This
it.
afternoon.
Yeah, take it
So,
off.
I felt tonight was, I keep saying tonight. Wow, gosh, you idiot. This afternoon, I felt like, what, we gotta rep Randy, and especially what he's been through these past few months and whatnot. It's cool to see Randy back and doing what he loves and talking about football. You looked great, by the way, too. So we're looking forward to have him on or watch him these next few years. I'm not sure what his plans are for after the season, but we'll keep an eye on it. So,
Can confirm in the Vold household, Case and Tate are both taking the Chiefs. Case wants the red team, and Tate picked the red hat. So
hey, he picked the red hat. That's the sign that who he's taking and whatnot.
We have our creative consultant as well on standby. Sarah, who are you taking? Oh, here she is.
Who do we got?
Chiefs.
Chiefs for Travis Kelce and Mahomes, and you got 3 Chiefs. You got 3 Chiefs going tonight, Voldy.
Chaos right now, as always.
Yeah, that's just how it
kids,
is.
they said. Have kids, yeah. Yeah. Shout out as well. Finally came across a little beverage and an adult beverage of sort. Shout out Garage Beer from the Kelce brothers. So
Drink responsibly.
Of course. First time I'm having it, so.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, Voldy, it is very dangerous. Voldy, we got to do some over under. We do this every year. There are some things that this hasn't changed much because the Chiefs have been in it these past 3 times. So it's like I don't have to change much from it. I mean, some of the players, but now we have the Eagles back in the fold. So we're going to start with passing yards. Let's go with Jalen Hurts. Passing yards, over under 275 yards. What do you got, Voldy?
I'm gonna say under, just because the dynamic run that they have there with Saquon. I'm definitely gonna take the under, but not by much. I'm gonna say like 260. I'm gonna say is the total for Jalen.
Same here. I'm taking the under as well. I think they're going to try to utilize Saquon Barkley as much as possible. Now, you can say, well, Spagnuolo's going to have them ready for Saquon. They're going to be able to figure out a way to stop him. But I think the Eagles' offensive line is going to find enough holes for him to have these big gains, making sure he gets to that second level and whatnot. So I'm going to go under for Jalen Hurts. Let's go 210. I'm going to go 210 just because I think that will come into the fold. But I could be wrong. So, all right, Patrick Mahomes, over under 275 as well. Voldy, what do you got?
I got to go the over on this one. I just feel like for Mahomes, he's going to have to throw that pill around and he's going to have to sling it a little bit. I know that there's going to be some chances for him to run, and of course he's got a nice 2-back system to go with now with Kareem and Pacheco. I'm going to say over. I'm going to say like 287 as the total for him. Could be more, could be less. I don't know. I'm not a degenerate gambler like our next guest coming up here. And the guest we had before. We just got degenerate gamblers left and right we're having here on the Super Bowl show. This is crazy.
I know one that we could have on that's actually pretty good at this type of stuff too. But you got to be careful with money. I'll tell you that much. So make sure you know what you're doing. All right, let's go with the running game. Saquon Barkley. Now I feel like I had to up this number a little bit just because we know what he's capable of. We know the Eagles' offensive line is very good. We know that the Chiefs' defense is, relatively good. But I put it at 125 for rushing yards. We're just going rushing yards at this point here. So, Voldy, over under 125 rushing yards for Saquon Barkley.
Hammer the over on that one. I feel like
sure.
With that offensive line, he's going to be able to find a few runs here and there, probably like 4 or 5 runs of like 20+ yards. And you hammer that a little bit more. I feel like he'll definitely get over 125, but it's definitely not going to be an easy 125 for him.
It will not be easy by any means, but yes, I am hammering the over on that. I'm going to go 140. I think Saquon is going to be a man on a mission today, and I think he's out there to prove the Giants. I mean, he's already proven the Giants wrong and his talents and everything like that, but I think there's still that chip of saying, like, after 1 year, I already got to the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles and quite possibly win it. So I am taking the over on that. So let's go to the Chiefs. You have Pacheco, you have Kareem Hunt, but I feel like they're going to ride the hot hand. I feel over under 100 yards. Let's just start with let's just go with Isaiah Pacheco, over or under 100 yards. Voldy, what do you got?
I'm going to go under. I just feel like the hot hand that we've seen has been Kareem Hunt. I think really has caught a second win the second go around with Kansas City. Of course, he was the guy 5 years ago or something like that, initial run that they had with all those great games and wins that they had in Kansas City. Then he, gets released. He gets picked up by Cleveland, and then he gets let go by Cleveland. And now, lo and behold, he's back in Kansas City, and he has made the most of it. Even with Pacheco, again, still a very strong, steady back that they have. Again, it's going to be the hot hand, but I could see that hot hand come into play with Kareem Hunt. So I'm going to take the under on Pacheco. He'll probably finish with like 75 yards, I think.
I think tonight they are going to run the ball and utilize the run game more than we think. Probably. And I think they're going to run with Pacheco. He's been hurt all season and whatnot, and he hasn't really gotten back to that form. But I think, and a lot of people are saying, well, and again, Kareem Hunt I feel like is going to be a factor in this too. Mm-hmm. Give me the over. Give me the over, Voldy, for Isaiah Pacheco. I'm going 120. Ooh. Right on the dot. So let's go 120 for Pacheco. I think it's very, very possible that could be the case for Isaiah Pacheco. So we got rushing. So total offensive yards. Let's start with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Voldy, over under 350 yards. What do you got?
For the Eagles, correct? That's who we're picking first, over under. You know what? 350. Yeah, I'm going to take the over on this one. I mean, if you really think about it, the run game gets 125, and then you get the passing, which is, 250 plus. You could accidentally run into 350 yards of total offense just magically on a few times. I'm going to take the over on this one. I think 350 for sure for the Eagles on the over.
I'm going to take the over too, like we just mentioned with Saquon and Jalen Hurts. I think that's enough to get them over that over the hump there. So let's go with the Chiefs, over under 350 yards. What do you got, Voldy?
I think also the over. I just feel with the dynamicness that they have of their offense, with, of course, running and the passing game. I mean, you've got Juju, you've got, of course, Kelsey and the tight end game as well. You have also got, you've got just so many weapons on both sides of the ball there for both teams. But specifically with the Chiefs, the running game, you've got the receiving threats as well. I'm going to go the over on this one too.
Over. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game tonight. Not like last year with the Chiefs and the Niners, because I feel like that one was kind of just like defensive most of the first half, and then it started going a little bit from there. So let's go to another playmaker on the field for the Eagles. We got A.J. Brown. I don't know if he'll have his book on the sideline tonight, but it very well could be. Over under 100 receiving yards for A.J. Brown. Voldy.
And this is one that I kind of alluded to with Moser talking about the receiving. I feel like A.J. Brown, he's going to get his catches. He's going to get his matchups. He's going to work. But I feel like it's going to be Dallas Goedert's day. I just feel the way he's been playing this postseason and the way he's been getting open and getting some a lot of chunk plays that have started up, some check downs to him that start out, 5-6 yards, end up being 15 plus. I feel like this could be Dallas Goedert's day. For A.J. Brown, I'm going to take the under on this one. I don't know why. He's still going to get his catches. I feel like he's going to get, 6-7 catches, maybe 89 yards in total. Will he score a touchdown? I could definitely see that happen. But I'm going to take the under on A.J. Brown.
I'm going to take the under as well. I feel like they are going to utilize Devontae Smith a little bit. And Goddard, like you said. I almost feel like there's always a guy that we're not even thinking of, like Jahan Dotson, who's somehow on this team or something like that. Yeah. Like, remember, what was that guy's name for the Seahawks? It was like...
Chris Matthews.
Yes, him.
You
never know. One. There could be just this unsung hero.
Completely... Noah Gray for Kansas City could have the game of games today.
That's
we
right.
don't know. Juju Smith-Schuster could have the game of all games.
Hollywood Brown.
Couple, 2 Super Bowls ago, Hollywood Brown could have the game of games. I mean, it was the Kadarius Toney, it was the Sky Moore show 2 years ago.
That's right.
With both those guys having huge plays for Kansas City against the Eagles. You just never know.
You really don't. So our next one, we're going to stick with the Eagles. We're going to defensive side. The pass rush for the Eagles is quite good. Jalen Carter is a monster. It's only in his second year. This dude is unbelievable. Jordan Davis, another really good tackle, really can stop the run and whatnot. Sweat
Brandon
off
Graham
the edge.
got activated. For
Brandon
Super Bowl
Graham, another
old man still
fresh.
got a couple steps on him. Yep.
That's right. More on that in a little bit. But, Voldy, are you taking the over or under on 3 sacks for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Give me the over on that one. I feel like Jalen Carter alone will have like 2.5. This offensive line for the Chiefs has been very patchwork this season. I mean, you've got Joe Thuney, who's on the precipice of winning his 5th Super Bowl in his career, has been moved left, right, and center, pun intended, this whole season for them. He went from guard to tackle, which is probably one of the hardest transitions you can do on the football field, let alone from switching from offense to defense. But going from a guard to a tackle position, going up against the rush, I feel like the Eagles will be able to win some of those matchups. You got Jalen Carter rushing right up the middle there. I feel like he's going to do a lot of work here today. I'm going to take the over on the Eagles and 3 sacks.
Okay. Voley, I think I did this last year, but
Okay.
I'm going right at 3. We're going to go right at 3. What's that club again? Pushed it. Here's the envelope, and you just pushed it. So I'm going to push. I'm going to go 3.
Damn it, Yabbit-Ashy.
Damn it. So next. Yeah, I'm sick of it. Just sick of it. Let's go to the Chiefs defense. Chris Jones, Karlaftis is very underrated in this game. He is a very good pass rusher for the Kansas City
3 years,
Chiefs.
he's already played in 3 Super Bowls. He's going to be playing in 3 Super Bowls for Karlaftis out of Purdue. Crazy.
And Omenahue is another guy to look out for as well. Mm-hmm. So let's change this to 3. Let's go the same thing. So Voldy, over or under 3 sacks for the Chiefs?
I feel like it's got to be under. That offensive line for Philly
is very good.
Is very good, and I want to say the best in football. I mean, just the fact that they've had these guys for so long, gelled together, couple of pieces come in and out. Of course, Jason Kelce retires. You bring in Cam Jurgens. They've had a little bit of rotation at the center position the last few weeks coming into the playoffs, but yet they still find a way to continue to protect their quarterback, even with Jalen Hurts being mobile, him having to run and maybe escape a few pressures. That offensive line is just no freaking joke. I mean, you've got Lane Johnson, you got Jordan Mailata, Cam Jurgens. I mean, the guys that they've had over the years and just continue to, retool and reshape with that offensive line is just dominate. Jeff Stoutland is, if not a Hall of Fame coach, he should definitely be in consideration once his, career is done as a whole with all the guys that he's had. I mean, we haven't even talked about the guys that they've had, Mekhi Becton, Jason Peters over the years, of course, with Jason Kelce, that have just been stalwarts on the offensive line. I'm going to say under. I think the Chiefs defense they're going to put pressure on them, but they're going to find other ways to, cause a little havoc for Jalen Hurts in the backfield.
That is for sure. And I am going to take the under as well. I think it's going to be at 2. I think they're going to get at least 2 at key moments too. So I'm going to go with that. Real quick, this one's very easy. Devontae Smith to score a touchdown, yay or nay?
No. I'm going to say no. I think it's going to be Goddard. It's going to be Brown. It's going to obviously be Saquon and, Jalen Hurts. I think Devontae he could be a matchup nightmare, a very underwhelming Heisman Trophy winner in his own right, but I feel like there's going to be other options for the Eagles this Super Bowl.
I say yes. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to get a touchdown tonight.
All right.
I'm going to go. I like Devontae Smith. I think he's very sneaky good. Trent McDuffie, I feel like, is going to be on A.J. Brown a lot, but then again, they could maybe figure out ways to switch him on with Devontae Smith, but we'll see.
I gotcha.
Travis Kelce to score the first Chiefs touchdown. Yay or nay?
First touchdown, it's going to be tough. Could it be, down at the goal line, you give You give Mahomes the ball. You're going to hand it off to Kareem or Pacheco. I'm going to go out on a limb. I remember a couple years ago when we did Chiefs Buccaneers. I'm like, is Gronk going to have a couple touchdowns? I said, you know what? No, I think he's going to be a bit of an afterthought. And, of course, Gronk ends up with 2 touchdowns, walks into the sunset, a Super Bowl champion. You know what? Travis Kelce, yes, he will score the first Chiefs touchdown because the Illuminati will not allow Travis Kelce to score the first Chiefs touchdown with Taylor in attendance.
It's true. Very
Illuminati.
True. Illuminati. You know it
Praise
well.
Beyonce.
All right, Patrick Mahomes over under 70 rushing yards. I mean, he really hasn't run not as much as he's used to, but he gets the calls if if it's a late slide, things like that.
Right.
Voldy over under 70.
I'm going to say under because a couple of years ago, of course, he had to run for his life in that Super Bowl against the Eagles a few different times. And, of course, the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers ran for his life with a no-name patchwork offensive line. Similar situation, but that offensive line for Kansas City is kind of really gelled here, of course, through the postseason. Of course, going through the 3 games in 11 days all the way up until Christmas. I'm going to say under. I think a lot of the bulk of the carries and rushing is going to be on, of course, Pacheco and Hunt, just because if they want Mahomes to come through this game, unscathed, they are going to have to do their best to protect. I'm going to say under the 70 yards rushing.
Okay. We're going to skip up to, or let's go to Dallas Goedert since I feel like, close around. Over under 100 yards for Dallas Goedert. What do you got?
Give me the
Take
over.
the over.
Dallas
I
going
like
to have
it.
a day today.
Again,
I've said this since he got drafted out of South Dakota State, Breton Hecla High School in South Dakota. He has been an absolute pleasure to watch. Of course, he got started with Carson Wentz at quarterback, now backup at Kansas City. Fun fact, the SDSU product with Goddard. This could be his day today. I feel like he will definitely get a lot of good matchups. Give me over 100 yards. Give him a touchdown on top of it. My man's going to have a good day today.
That'll be interesting. I'm going to go under. And for the reason why I say under is because I feel like they're going to, Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devontae,
of course.
Smith. So I'm going to take the under on that. But I do like Dallas Goedert. I feel like he's very underrated. All right. Last 3 here, and then we'll get Matt Fowler on here.
Yes, sir.
And the Eagles.
He's still waiting in wins.
Yes. Yes, he is. And the Eagles, team total of points scored over under 22.5 points. Voldy, you taking the over or the under on that?
22.5 is a very tough number for me. This offense is so interesting because they're very hot and cold. Of course, in the middle portion of the season when they were winning, yet fans weren't fully happy. Very hot and cold overall. I'm going to take the under on the points here. They're going to get their scores. I feel like it's going to be very tight, at least offensively, but I'm going to take the under on the 22.5.
Give me the over. I'm feeling they're going to score a lot tonight, and I think it's going to be with Saquon and obviously maybe a passing touchdown here and there or a touch push. Which is very possible. All right, the Chiefs, same number, over under 22.5. What do you got?
Over. Just give me the over. I think there's just a lot of ways that Kansas City and their offense, 22.5 is very interesting. Could it be 23? Very well could see them get stuck at 23 points and have to rely on that defense. But I feel like the offense opened up a little bit more than we've seen the last couple of seasons, of course, from the high-flying offense when they had Tyreek and crew. Now they've had to adjust and be a little bit more ground and pound, kind of work the clock a little bit. Sure, a couple of big plays here and there. I'm going to take the over. It's not going to be by much, though. I'm going to that 23-point mark. Under 30, I'll say. Under 30 for sure. But 22.5, take the over.
Over. That's all I got to say. Both teams I think are going to score a lot of points tonight. I don't know why. I feel it, Voldy, we did this last year, our last one, which is kind of a fun one. I think we put the Taylor Swift appearances, and it has to be appearance. She has to be on the screen after Chiefs, whatever. I think I said the over on how many times they showed her last year.
Yep.
I was one off.
Oh,
I was one off.
That's crazy.
One off.
Well, that's
But
nuts.
so I think, and they haven't shown her too much, as much as we, usually see.
I was going to bring that up. They have definitely, they brought it down quite a bit. I think,
And
they've
that's
cut
okay. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. It lost its luster after last season.
So here's my thing, though. I put it at 15 last year. I'm putting it at 10 this year. Okay? So, Voldy, are you
That's a
taking
safe
the over or under on Taylor Swift appearances on the TV tonight? What do you got?
Okay. So last year was on CBS, I believe, the Super Bowl was.
Yes.
I remember Nance
Correct.
and Romo were on the call for that one. They really, they went after it early, and I feel like it's going to be the same MO. They're going to get Taylor on early, first couple series for Kansas City, get those out of the way, and get it taken care of maybe a few times in the second half every once in a while. Maybe something crazy happens with Travis, and they flash up to the box. 10, though, I'm going to take the over, but I'm going to say 12. 12 is the total here this year, but I think it's going to be fairly spread out. Of course, you'll see Taylor, before the game arriving, what's the fit, all that, maybe a couple times in that first half, who's she sitting next to in the box. Of course, last year was it 2 years ago? Her and
Former
Ice Spice.
friend Blake Lively. A lot of controversy now going on there.
Boy, there's just a lot going on with Blake Lively right now. Of course, with that lawsuit happening from said movie that she did, but that's not
Crazy.
That's all. I don't know if it's her fault, it's their fault. Either way, I can tell you what's going on. It's crazy. But I'm going to say 12. I'm going to take the over on Taylor Swift appearances. You got 4 quarters, whole lot of time to fill, not a lot of action, of course. When we really think about an NFL football contest, give me the over at 12 appearances.
Well, we got Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady on the call tonight. I could see Tom, kind of bringing that up a little bit. But I could also see Tom saying, guys, we're not doing this tonight. We'll show her a couple times.
I can see that too.
That's
I
it.
can see it. Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the under. I'm
like
going
it.
8. I'm going 8.
8.
I was wrong. I was one off last year. I almost had a push, but give me 8.
So what you really should say is 9 then. You should say 9 is the number.
You know what? Screw it. Let's go 9. Let's go 9.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go 9.
Peer pressure at its finest. I love it.
Yeah, might as well. Screw it. And so Voldy will be chatting during the game about that specifically and some other things too. All right. With that being said, that'll do it for Over Under. But we have a guest in the guest room right now, and that is a guy that was here last year. Had a great time with him talking Super Bowl with his 49ers and everything like that. We welcome Matt Fowler to the show. There he is, Matt Fowler. What's going on, my man?
Hey.
What's up, guys? You hear me?
How we feeling? Yeah,
we can hear you. Maybe we can see a little bit better.
Oh, hang on.
I got you. Yeah, you joined.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Now
There we
we're
go.
talking. Let's go.
All right. I love
What's
it.
up, guys? How you doing?
Feeling good.
Feeling
Of
good.
course,
Super Bowl Sunday can't be better, right?
there it is.
Absolutely. No, you can't get better than that. No.
No.
I mean,
Little
you
bit-
could if a certain other team was in it, but you know what? We're not going to tackle that today.
Fair enough. Voldy, what do you got for him?
I say a little bit better of a setup than we had last year with you just kind of hanging out in your hotel room, I believe that was on this. At least you were at the Super Bowl last year, so.
I was. So I gotta, there was. We thought about going. The fact that I got a real job, kind of interfered with that. But, we'll see where that goes. I will be there next year, either at the game or covering Radio Road, because next year it's in my backyard, so I kind of have to go.
Yeah, fair enough.
Love
So
it. I love it.
we're gonna figure it out. Either I'll get credentials, I'll sneak in over the fence. Don't know how I'm gonna make that happen, but we'll see. One of those things is gonna happen. So
I would pay good. I would pay good money to see Matt Fowler jump over a fence at the big at Levi Stadium for sure.
Of course you would, Zold.
Of course I would. Yeah, absolutely. Ask for a little bit of help. So
there you
Doing good. Looking forward to another matchup that we saw 2 years ago. So we'll see how this happens.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm here in my home studio, and we had Voldy. I saw you yesterday. I'm sure you filled Callahan in on it.
Yes.
We you were telling me that, for this last year you got to get me on with Ben's. I finally did it. And,
see, no, you're putting words in my mouth again. You try to show off for all your big wig buddies. Try to say, you twisting. I was twisting your arm to get Dave Benz to say hi and all that. No, that's not how it works.
Well, okay, you weren't not appreciative of that though.
No, definitely, for sure. I mean, it was a great time. And then just all these guys were just like, "Who's this guy?" What? Matt's just bringing his buddies on now. It's just like, hey, but I got a couple chuckles out of Dave Benz, so I'll take that for sure.
You did, and I will apologize. Sorry, not sorry for the. Oh my, that was chaos. We had like 6 people on.
Oh goodness.
And Tony Bruno even made an appearance. Which that was unexpected until the very end there, but he in true Eagles fashion, he definitely gave us the Tony Bruno experience there. But I'm happy to be on, guys, and it is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to a good matchup. And, of course, speaking of the matchup too, Fowler, let's just dive right into it. What are you looking at here with this matchup? I mean, what kind of really intrigues you, the second going of Chiefs-Eagles?
Yes. That's my answer to that question.
I mean, there's really no way to really go about it. People are, like, great, Chiefs are back in it. And, of course, it had to be the Eagles, them and their degenerate fans on top of it. But, I mean, yeah, we're just all kind of glazed over a little bit on this one. We could have had a whole monotony of teams. If it was, the Commanders in this one, I feel like we'd have a little bit more to talk about because we saw this matchup 2 years ago. Really not a whole lot other than adding Saquon into the mix this go around.
Well, but we knew the Commanders weren't going to be in it. I mean,
no.
Come on. I mean, it was gonna be the Eagles, and it should have been Detroit, Philly for the NFC Championship. Again, now listen, I full disclosure, I was at a Warriors game, so I didn't watch the Commanders and the Lions, but I'm just assuming that Dan Campbell made some stupid decisions in that game, which probably at some point cost him. I literally haven't looked. I'm just assuming.
It's a safe assumption. It's a very safe assumption.
It's it, yeah.
I wouldn't say it was dumb decisions. It's just like whatever the Lions put out, the Commanders had in a response and more on top of it.
Goff kept turning the ball over, too. I mean, good Lord. He had 3 picks or something like that, and he fumbled, too. I mean, good Lord.
Had a pick 6 in the mix there. That'll do it. That'll do the trick right there.
Yeah.
We were talking about, of course, with our first segment with Moser's Money Corner, a buddy of mine who does a little bit of degenerate gambling. You are quoted as saying you are also a degenerate gambler, Matt Fowler. What are we looking at here?
Yes. So wait a minute. Listen, I tuned in to the beginning of the show. This is impressive. You found somebody that's more of a degenerate gambler than I am.
And that's saying something. This guy, Matt Fowler, is the degen of all degenerates when it comes to
let's clarify for the definition of degen for those that maybe just hear it in movies and have seen the movie Casino way too many times with Joe Pesci. Okay.
Great movie.
Degenerate does not necessarily mean that you don't win. It just means that you do it a lot. Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Now, there was I just mentioned the movie Casino. So you know that scene where Joe Pesci's sitting there with the resident degenerate gambler, and he's like, "Did you gamble? Did you gamble?
Yep.
Tell me you gambled." And so somebody put a meme together, and it was like, "My mom for the first quarter. Did you gamble? My mom for the second quarter. Did you gamble?" It's like, yeah, that's why my parents are leaving the house. Okay.
Yeah. This is funny because the basis of our whole conversation in life since we have been coworkers is sending like Instagram reels between each other, and most of what I receive from Fowler is sports gambling. It's like, haha, it's funny, but I don't gamble, so I'm going to take your word for it. I gamble with my life and not with my money, but it's still hilarious. We're like an old married couple at this point where we don't even talk. We just send reels to each other, which is also funny because I also send reels to my wife all the time to hopefully, generate a every once in a while or something.
Well, I mean, I've been so close to the retirement parlay hitting. The retirement parlay is the one where you hit it and then you don't have to work anymore. I've legit been close to like 200-300K off of like $200. Like when you get that close, you kind of have to keep going.
Right? Let it ride. Come on.
Anyway, no. But no, I just I thought that was interesting. I will say that your buddy Moses, I did hear that he bet on the Australian Open. Okay, listen, I did too. But you know why you do that? It's because you're up late. You got home from the bar and you're drinking and you're like, what else is there to do? And you know what? Tennis is fun to watch, but like specifically the Australian Open, I always like that because it's always on at like 3 a.m.
True. Well, for you, it'd be like at 1 o'clock because you're out on the West Coast too, right?
Yeah, so it actually is more of it's more doable because, you get home from midnight, 1 o'clock, although those matches go for like 2 hours. And
exactly.
So, I mean, it's definitely a little rough for me. And the equivalent of the, DGen betting on tennis is the DGen betting on English Premier League where the game started at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. It's like, I just got the TV in my room. Let's go.
Yeah, wake up, man. Let's see what the parlays are at. And speaking of looking at that retirement parlay or retirement bet, I'm assuming I can't remember the exact number you put on for this Super Bowl. How many bets? But what are you hedging your life's wages on here with this Super Bowl?
Okay, well, actually, to your surprise, it's from a figure standpoint. It's pretty low, but you put a parlay there, and the odds are pretty good. So I was gonna say I'm staying away from the sides and the total, but let's not kid ourselves. The second I get off here, I'm probably gonna put a bet on both the sides and the total. But what I put though is I got the anytime touchdowns going, and I never do that. I never do it because, in my opinion, it's just to bet on individual performances in anything other than the biggest game of the year is kind of dumb. Because, what happens if you got John Tay Porter just decides to take himself out so we can make $80,000 because apparently he doesn't understand math. And making, $2.1 million in the NBA is apparently not what he wants to do. But so here's what I got. And I put a little bit of a wrench in there because it can't just be all likely outcomes. So I have Saquon scoring the first touchdown of the game specifically.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I like
then it gets then it gets easier from there because if that happens, then it's like, okay, well, then I got Jalen Hurts scoring a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I have Travis Kelce scoring a touchdown anytime.
And I know that you also brought up on the show last night a very interesting proposition, and I've actually I saw it before you had mentioned it on the show too. Let's get let's get the government involved with the Treasury Department too.
Yes. Okay. So Callahan, here's the deal with this. Okay. The current U.S. national debt, and Dave Benz looked at me like I was on crack when I said this because he didn't stay with me through the whole scenario. He was like, "What the hell?" And so the U.S. debt is $38 trillion. Okay, so and people need to eat. Okay,
True.
I filled up my tank the other day, and it was $75. Okay,
yikes.
So
Jeez.
this is a crisis here. We need a responsible financial solution for this. The only one I can come up with is we take $38 trillion and we put it on the Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
No.
I'm good for it. Put it all on black, baby. Put it all on black.
By my math, by my math, Saquon scoring an anytime touchdown is minus 200. Okay.
Okay.
So based on that, that means we would get 19 trillion back. Okay. And I think we could work with that. I don't know. I mean,
you gotta spend money to make money. If you think about it, you take the 37, turns into 19, then you're left at let's see, quick math. Was that 18 trillion in debt? We just cut our profits in half there.
Yeah, there we go.
That's how it works.
There you go.
You know I'm good for it. You know I'm good for it, Trump. We got this.
And listen, you know what? If somehow Saquon doesn't score a touchdown, we can just raise the debt ceiling. That's what the U.S. does.
Right.
We just keep raising the debt ceiling, keep on borrowing. Let's go.
It's like the Major League Baseball salary cap. I just say it's funny money. It's not real. It's monopoly money at this point.
It's not real.
No. You're just taking dollar bills and you're shoving them off the back of a semi truck. It's not real. It's like garbage at this point.
Garbage.
Love it. No, but another thing I wanted to bring up too. You already alluded to it. Super Bowl 60, the diamond celebration of the Super Bowl next year, right in your backyard at Santa Clara. You mentioned it. One way or another, you're going. Who do you hope to see there? What do you want to do with Super Bowl 60 in the backyard?
All right. Well, I've actually the beginning stages of planning have begun. By the way,
of course.
And Ben Aberg's going to join me on that one. He's already in.
Big Ben, let's go.
Because I was supposed to fly out to Minnesota in a couple of months for a couple of Twins games, and my boss at the real job that I'm at was just like, "Yeah, no, you're corporate now. You can't do that." So, I told Ben, and I was like, I could fly out. And he's like, "Why don't we just do the Super Bowl?" And I'm like, "That's a good idea."
Darn.
So
twist my arm a little bit.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna see what we can do there. But yes, the plan is that and I know we have plenty to talk about this Super Bowl. We'll get to that. And you know what? We're not going to talk about last year. We're not going to do it. But I do want to say that there was one really good thing that came out of the totality of last year, and then fortunately the injury-free season of this year, is that Mr. Irrelevant is going to get a shitload of money.
Yeah, he is. That is true.
And you know what? That is. I am so happy because I was able to, as I told you, I was able to meet him and chat for a little bit, and he's the nicest kid on the planet. So just real briefly on the 49ers, that's my only 49ers thing. I'm just really happy that Brock Purdy's going to get paid, and I do expect to see them next year in the Super Bowl. I do. Okay.
All right. I like that. We'll probably talk about that here a little bit more. Another thing, 49ers, since you brought them up, saw a little bit ago, Debo has expressed that maybe looking into a trade. How do we feel about Debo quite possibly not wearing a Niners uniform?
How do we feel about Debo putting Cresco on his hands before every game? Like, I mean, hey, you know what?
Racist? I don't know.
We need to see the production. Okay, family show to clarify, because he can't catch the balls, okay? He can't catch.
Oh,
okay.
Got it. See, there, explain stuff to me. You just can't leave that in interpretation. Real. This is real.
No, I mean, Debo, love Debo, but Debo's got to up the production, okay?
Of course.
And I don't know. I mean, I think the 49ers, they have enough. They have Brandon Ayuk, once he gets back from his ACL, which, you know, he'll be ready to go. And they have Kittle. They have so many weapons. And Debo's just got to get back to 2021 Debo. So, if he gets traded, fine. If he doesn't, I really don't care either way. You know, it's not like our owner is, you know, taking tequila shots and trading away the franchise like somebody did in Dallas for the NBA the other day. But yeah.
How about that?
I mean, you know, it's just kind of I have a friend of mine who I worked with here in the Bay Area, and he's up in Utah slaying it with what he's doing. But he's a big Lakers fan, and he called me at like 9 a.m. No, 8 a.m., which was 9 a.m. in Utah, and he's like, "Did you think that Sham's Twitter got hacked?" And I was like, "You see, this is what happens the second Woj retires. This is
that's what I thought." Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. No, I mean, the NBA is good, but for at least one more day, or for at least 4 more hours, we're all about the NFL over here.
True.
Of course. One other thing, I guess. Well, Matt, did you want to? Callahan, did you want to throw anything?
I did actually, yeah. And with the Debo thing, I was gonna ask you about Purdy, but now it seems like let's just say they lose Debo, Matt, and they, you got Ayuk, you've mentioned Kittle, obviously. Do you think that they would be willing to go out and maybe trading for somebody, going to, free agency, bring in somebody too? I mean, because you can't just have Ayuk, right? I mean, Juwan Jennings has played very well this past season too. Do you think they'll, go out in free agency or go through the draft even for the Niners? What do you think?
I think they'll go through the drafts. I think they'll get somebody in college from, who was in the. It was Notre Dame and who?
Ohio State. Yep.
Ohio State. Yeah. I see. There's so much college I can't even remember.
Exactly.
But yeah, they'll get somebody from maybe one of those schools, or maybe from from Texas Tech or something, or they'll find a gem in the rough.
And the thing is like you don't need to get somebody like in the first round, or anything like that. If there's a guy in second, third, fourth, I think they'll be able to, nail down a couple guys. And Kyle Shanahan's offense is something that is very. I feel like a guy like Juwan Jennings has benefited from Ayuk and obviously Debo. Nowadays, but I assume they'd probably get some draft capital with trading Debo if that were the case. So,
Kyle Shanahan's offense is great, except for when you need 4 yards and don't give it to the best running back in the league to kick a field goal to win the Super Bowl. But anyway, we said we weren't going to talk about that, so we're moving on.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I do real quick, since Golden State is your team and everything like that. Thoughts on Jimmy Buckets going to Golden State for you?
Yes.
So no,
Mr. Butler the third.
But yeah, that's right.
We're just I think it was Stuart Scott, and I can't find the original clip, but there was one Sports Center broadcast where somebody just went off. It might have been Kobe, and just the whole highlight was Stuart Scott like, buckets? Back to Kobe, buckets? So many buckets. So yeah, no, Jimmy buckets. I'm happy with it. The Warriors are 26-26. They've got 30 games left to do something, and to do something, they've probably got to win 20 games. Two out of 3. I mean, it's not impossible.
Not impossible.
And I do think that Steph, he's gonna do that thing, like a Kobe, like a Magic. He's gonna get number 5 somehow. It's gotta be either this year or next year. But I do think he has the moxie to make it happen. I mean, geez, he scored 24 points in the third quarter alone last night to bring them back from a 20-point deficit to the Chicago Bulls, which they should have beat anyway. Not only were they down 20, they beat them, and then they covered the spread. The spread was -6 for the Warriors. They covered the spread after being down 20. I mean, that's nuts.
That is nuts. Anyway. And we'll see how far it goes. And again, Jimmy can be quite controversial too. So we got him and Draymond. Voldy and I have been talking on this show. That'll be an interesting dynamic.
They're going to be beating the piss out of each other. I love it. But as Stuart Scott did once say in a Sports Center commercial with Keyshawn Johnson and Kobe Bryant, controversy, money. That's what it's all about. I'm the man.
Yes. Oh man, I wish we could do the Super Bowl show every day, but we can't, which is why it's special. But
true.
But so okay, so you guys got Super Bowl questions for me. What do you think?
We got rapid fire here before we get you going here, Fowler. Let's go right into it if you're cool with it. Let's go. What's on that go-to Super Bowl plate? You got the spread right in front of you. It is whatever you want. What are you putting on that plate to go?
Oof, man. I'm gonna get a huge DoorDash order after this. Chicken wings.
Okay.
Let's see. I am a big chips and dip guy, like your guy Moses. Same thing. Love it. Let's see. I got beer. Copious amounts of beer. I say beer specifically because you can, over the course of 3-4 hours, you can pound down 5 or 6 of those and still go to work the next day. It's okay.
It's okay.
You can't be doing that with vodka. I tried once. It didn't yeah. So chicken wings, chips and dip,
beer,
some soda, beer. Let's see, and probably some fried chicken for the main course. Chicken wings for the appetizer, fried chicken. We don't take care of our hearts here on MinneZona Sports. No, we don't do that.
Nope.
No. Living the 90s overrated. Let's go.
All right, we'll go here. Next question. What has been the wildest Super Bowl that you have seen or that you have or have not seen? I should say, I don't remember this question. I mean, you were at the Super Bowl, you were at media night and everything. What's the wildest thing that you have seen personally yourself, whether it been in person?
You know what? This might as Snoop Dogg once said in the Starsky and Hutch classic, you might tell me, Matt, what you're about to say puts you down a notch. In my book, that puts you at notch 1. So, but honestly, I have been to because as we all know, football is conducive to TV. Football is not conducive to being in person. I've been to 2 NFL games my whole life. I've been to 2. I don't usually go because it's just, I mean, you can know all the stuff, you can get all the experiences just from TV. It's a weird thing, but that is how the NFL goes. But craziest thing I've seen, I mean, myself, whether it be a fan or as a media person, it was probably just and by the way, we didn't touch on it last year. We touched on it a little bit with Kevin Harlan and kind of in general, but the amount of celebrities that I saw last year at Radio and the cross section of people that you wouldn't expect would be, at Radio Row for the Super Bowl. I hung out with, get this, okay, about Kevin Harlan, about the GOAT.
Yep.
But there was a time where myself and my girlfriend at the time, we hung out with Carrot Top.
Oh my God.
Dr. Oz. Wayne Newton.
Wow.
Deion Sanders.
Jesus.
Prime time.
I actually ran over Deion Sanders because I had to go to the bathroom. And I was running, and these jackasses decided to do an interview in the middle of the hallway, like directly in the middle. And I'm like, move! And so they were interviewing Deion, and I was just like, with my elbow, just get out the way. But then what they're going to do? Because whatever. So Deion Sanders, and then I mean there was the slap champion from the woman from Hungary that is the slap champion. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Oh, okay.
Power slap. Yeah.
There was Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars was there.
Jesus.
I mean,
it was Vegas, so that makes all this is starting to make sense.
But I mean, so pretty much just that, and just kind of the craziness of the whole experience, and the fact that 2 hot dogs and a salad cost you $400.
That's Vegas. That's Vegas.
Oh yeah, so that's the craziest thing I've seen in person from a media standpoint. From a game standpoint, I do have to say it probably was although last year's Super Bowl, even though the Niners didn't win, it was amazing. And it was one of the greatest games I've ever seen. Probably the greatest game I've ever seen. At least second half wise, it's got to be 28-3, which I know Shield is your favorite game
yes,
of all time.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, and of course we have the GOAT. We have the GOAT calling the game today. And I sent you that reel where he was at the NFC Championship game throwing to Gronk on the sidelines with the crew. The Eagles might need him to suit up, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's still got a couple. He's got a couple series left in him. I can imagine.
He's got more than a couple. I think he could come back, and I think he could play for a full year.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things work out with the Raiders coming up this year. But another one here. Which is a more intolerable fan base? The Chiefs fans here over the last decade, I'll say, or Eagles fans? Which fan base is worse?
Okay, I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
First of all, I'll give you the answer. The answer, in general, is Eagles fans because, you know what? Listen, there's nothing to do in Kansas City. It's cold. It's depressing. All you do is drink and ask yourself, why do I live here? Like, give them their football.
Are you talking Kansas City or Minnesota? I mean, there's a lot of similarities. But I got love for Minnesota. So yeah. It was -11 this morning in St. Cloud. Felt like -11. So
okay, I'll go and put on my T-shirt and we'll put the lounge chairs out. It'll be great. I'll bring the sunscreen. It's cool.
There you go. There you go.
Because honestly, and people who lived in the Midwest understand that. I mean, that's obviously I'm being facetious, but I mean it gets colder than that. So when it's only -11, you can handle that. That's easy. Anyway, so Eagles fans, they're insufferable because it's not just that their team, in their opinion, is the greatest team of all time. It's that your team sucks, regardless of who it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, you could put a team on the field where you could have, a 3 depth chart of quarterbacks of, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and Terry Bradshaw, and Eagles fans will be like, those guys haven't accomplished anything.
Yep.
I mean, they just talk endless crap without being able to.
They threw snowballs at Santa Claus, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you're making the kids cry. You throw snowballs at Santa? Come on, man. That's messed up.
Snowbirds.
I will tell you, though. I'll tell you a story. I was at a bar before one of the Eagles games, just regular season game last year. I was at a local bar, and I ran into a traveling nurse. Now, don't get excited. I'll keep the story PG. I ran into a traveling nurse at the bar, and she quite literally was the second most attractive human I've ever seen in my life. And she was with her dog, and she, and I'm still friends with her, so I'll probably send her this show to give her some love. But she's I think she's settled in Arizona now. But we were just talking about the birds and just regular football talk over some shots and some beers and stuff. And she said, I need a place to watch the game tomorrow. And, I'm at a bar, so I'm just like, all right, here's your shot. Let's go. So I was just like, hey, I got a pool, a hot tub, and a huge big screen TV. She's like, I'm going to come over. And came over, and we just watched the game, and we just had a good time. And just, she was the only nice Eagles fan I've ever met in my life. So, I mean, but so by and large, and I've texted her all this Eagles hate, and she revels in it, she texted me today, and she goes, I'm nervous. And I'm like, listen, I can't even say go Birds, but for you, like, I hope you don't get killed in the Super Bowl. Like, that's as far as I can take it. But yeah, Eagles fans by and large are the insufferable fan base. I mean, when the Niners played them, not in the second Brock Purdy game, but in the first one where he got hurt, there were fans, flipping everybody off, and like you said, throwing snowballs, and then and then Brock Purdy got healthy, and then we saw what would happen between the Eagles and Niners. And that didn't really work out too well for Eagles fans right there. So see, that's why you don't talk crap. It's kind of like Cowboys fans. We don't care that you haven't had a Super Bowl since 1995, but why do you always make us bring it up when you say that your team's good?
Yep.
I mean, come on, man.
Suffer in silence, like Vikings fans. Just suffer in silence.
Exactly. Although they should have won against the Rams, man. That hurt my soul.
That hurt.
We don't have enough time to talk about that because
another special.
Yeah.
Another special.
Another special.
Callahan's like, we're not talking about it. Let's go. Okay.
All right. You brought it up here. Super Bowl 60. You hope to see your Niners in it. What is your ideal Super Bowl matchup, and who is doing the halftime show?
Ooh. Okay. Ideal Super Bowl matchup. Okay, obviously the Niners are in it for me.
Yep.
You know what? This is gonna sound. This is gonna sound a little weird. Well, wait a minute. I have to. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I had to think about the conference aligning for a second.
Yep.
Even though they're in Las Vegas, the Vegas Raiders are still in the AFC. Correct?
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. I know they're not separated by 12 miles anymore, but I want to see a Bay Area Super Bowl, even though it's not a Bay Area Super Bowl. I want to see 49ers and Raiders, man. I want to see it happen.
Absolutely.
I don't think it ever will, but because with the current ownership and well, wait a minute, with Brady that might change.
Might change.
As currently constructed with Mr. Give me the worst haircut imaginable. I'm gonna no.
And then what? You got E40 doing the halftime show there?
Oh yeah.
Bay Area Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, we got E40 too short
Yep.
probably. And then somebody's got to get a hologram of Mac Dre.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
I went to a wedding in Texas, and my friend who got married, she was from the Bay Area. She moved to Texas. She's all about Bay Area. So we asked the DJ to play the Thizzle dance, and we might as well have been speaking Spanish. Like he literally was like, what is that? And I'm just like, no, it's not a song about your truck and your dog leaving you. No. But anyway, I digress.
All right, last one here before we get you out, Fowler. Who do you have winning? What's the final score with this matchup, Kansas City and Philadelphia?
Yes.
I had a feeling you'd say that. No.
Yeah, me too.
No, I really, really am excited about it. I digress. It's going to be a really good game. I like excellence. Shield, you understand this. I always loved watching the Patriots and Tom Brady do their thing, and because it's nobody likes to watch terrible football. And obviously, any two teams that get in the Super Bowl are going to play good football. But this, what Mahomes and the Chiefs have done, definitely is historic. And I was going back and forth on it all week, and I think the Chiefs are going to get it done. They're a better team.
All right.
Regardless of how insufferable it's going to be, I think they're going to get it done. I don't want to dog your buddy Moses, and he may very well have bets that will hit. And hey, technically for me, it doesn't matter who wins as long as those four guys score touchdowns. So I might have bets that hit too, but I don't think that the Eagles are going to be able to pull this off. And in terms of the score, I go with what almost the same thing. Although last year the over did hit, by the way, by half a point. It was 46.5, and they ended up scoring 47 there. But way over. It's going to be. I was going to put a bet on the exact score, and probably not going to do that. But 30. Let's see. 35-27. No, 35-26. 35-26, Kansas City.
I like it. Fowler, as always, it is a pleasure to have you on here. Of course, we look forward to a report this time next year, live from Santa Clara. Right. Hopefully you'll be there, maybe in the stands, maybe working. Either way, we're going to have you on. Maybe we'll have you an update, maybe in the midst of the Niners going undefeated. Who knows? Who knows? A lot of things happen between now and then, but as always, a pleasure. We'll be sure to keep sending reels to each other, all right?
All right, man. Hey, I'll say it once, fly Eagles fly, and then, go Chiefs. I'm covering all my bases.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like it.
You know who wins? You know who wins today? Who wins today is America. America wins today because you know what? It's Super Bowl Sunday, and I do believe that it could be already tomorrow. It's not, but I'm sure that a lot of people are going to call in sick, and a lot of people are going to have to buy new TVs tomorrow. It's not going to be me, but
same.
It's going to be a good day. Regardless, it's going to be a good day.
That's awesome. Appreciate it, Fowler. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bud?
All right, guys. Have a good show.
See ya, Matt.
See ya. Awesome.
All right. Well, that was Matt Fowler. Voldy, we better go through this or that real quick. Then we got to make our predictions. So
let's for the main event here pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Super edition of this or that. If I can find my lower third here. Yes, there it is. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Voldy.
All right, we got to start it off here. This or that. Better city, Philadelphia or Kansas City?
Kansas City.
Okay.
Just because I've been there. I've been to both, kind of, but I've never been in the trenches of Philadelphia, and I don't think I want to. So, give me KC.
I have been to both. I have been deep in Philadelphia, Liberty Bell. We're talking Love Park.
Yeah,
we're talking South Street back in the day. Been to Kansas City a couple times. I'm gonna say Philadelphia on this one. I kind of like it. Me, from a historical perspective, big history buff back in the day. I'm going to go Philly on this one.
Okay.
All right. Better sports teams, Kansas City or Philadelphia? As a whole, the big four.
Yeah, as a whole. I'd probably say Philly. I think that the Eagles, recent success. The Sixers back in the day were really good. The Flyers have had some really good teams. Mm-hmm. The Phillies obviously won World Series and whatnot, or two now, right? Two or no?
Phillies, yeah. Yes, they've been to a couple series, as of late. Haven't won it since 2008, but yeah.
And the Royals have been there. They haven't won it in a while.
2015, I think they won the World Series.
Oh, did they win? Oh, okay. I thought
they went to a couple
the
last 15 years, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Philly. I'll go Philly on this one.
Okay. All right. Better food staple. Are we talking KC barbecue? Or are we talking a Philly cheesesteak sandwich?
Give me Philly cheesesteak, man. I love me some Philly cheesesteak. But I've had KC barbecue, very good as well. But give me the Philly cheesesteak.
I mean, load that John up there with a Philly cheesesteak. Give me some give me a steak wit, throw some onions, some peppers, maybe a couple mushrooms. Load that John up there. Cannot go wrong with KC barbecue. But if I want something hearty and I want something now, give me a Philly cheesesteak for sure.
Shout out to big fan of the show, Devin. She and her husband Matt are living in KC and have a child, and they gave some of that barbecue. Oh, really good. So, all right, next one.
Better fans. We talked about it. Who's got the worst fans? Who's got the better fans? Kansas City or Philadelphia?
Well, here's the thing. KC for sure. Better fans, except Hanley. Look, there's 95% of Eagles fans that are jackasses. That 5% is my family, who is from Philly as well. More on that in a second. But that's easy. KC, worse Eagles fans. Go ahead, Voldy.
Better fans, I got to go Kansas City. They'll welcome you in with some barbecue and maybe a cold beverage or two. Philadelphia fans are going to run you out of town and throw cheesesteaks at you at the same time, if not batteries on top of it. I'm going to go better fans with Kansas City.
Fair enough. All right. Next one.
Let's see. Better legendary players. Are we talking Kansas City or are we talking Philadelphia?
Damn. Well, I feel like this generation of Chiefs I probably, as it goes on, if they win today, I think, that you're going to solidify Kelsey, Mahomes, all those guys. I'm going to go Philly. They're Brian Dawkins. You got Fletcher Cox. You got, Nick Foles for that one season. For that one season, somehow, someday.
Got him a statue in front of the stadium. Good enough.
So, I'm going to go Eagles. Who you got?
I got to go Eagles as well. I mean, you look back in the days of Kansas City, there's a few guys, but the winning has been a lot more as of recent, where the Eagles have been kind of in the mix, but longevity in legendary careers. I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one, too.
There you go. All right. Next.
Let's see. Better stadium, Arrowhead or Lincoln Financial Field?
I've been to Lincoln Financial, and it's really nice. Don't get me wrong. Very nice stadium. I've been outside of Arrowhead Stadium, but I'm going to go KC's. I think I like that a little bit better than Lincoln Financial, but yeah, KC.
Yeah, I gotta go Arrowhead as well. I just feel like that area, a lot of parking lot, a lot of areas to go with. Of course, Philadelphia, all their stadiums are right next to each other in the heart of Philadelphia. But given the background that's along with it with said attendees of said arenas, I'm going to go with Kansas City on this one.
All right, next.
Better team mascot. No, we're not talking Chiefsaholic for Kansas City. We're talking the mascot. We talking Chiefs or we talking the Eagles?
Give me the Eagles, because that whatever that wolf thing is, it's weird. Yeah, give me the Eagles.
I gotta go the Eagles too on this one. Swoop, the actual mascot that they have, a little better to go around because you know what it is. It's an eagle. I don't know how you get a wolf out of the Chiefs out of it, but probably a little bit more PC than what they could have. I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one.
All right, next one.
Better uniforms, Kansas City or the Eagles. Now we're talking primary, no throwbacks, no alternates. Primary uniforms, Eagles or Chiefs.
Damn. Give me the Chiefs. I mean, the green's okay. I don't mind it, but I do like the black ones they wear. Those are dope. But if we're talking just the primaries, I'll take the Chief red. So
yeah, I gotta go with the Chiefs too. They're just something. Uniform hasn't changed since they came in the NFL, even back when they were in Dallas too, the Dallas Texans back in the day. Same color scheme with the red, the gold. I mean, they still got the AFC patch on there with Lamar Hunt, the founder of the team. That is timeless. Now, if we were going to open it up there, 2 alternates, 2 throwbacks as well. I mean, the Eagles Kelly Green is just a timeless look. Never gets old on top of it. But we're talking primary. Give me the Chiefs on it as well.
Hey, next one.
All right, last one. We got to throw a Minnesota spin onto the Super Bowl. Which former Vikings Minnesota athlete deserves more to win the Super Bowl? Now, for the Eagles, they do have former Vikings, a former first-round draft pick, Lewis Cine, and they also have a former tight end that was released on his birthday by the Vikings.
That's right.
Nick Muse is on the squad on the practice squad. Lewis Cine is on the 53-man roster. Now, on the other side for Kansas City, had to do a little bit of digging on this one. It wasn't Blake Bell and Jerick McKinnon like we saw last year with them, but we've got a couple of guys there that have some Minnesota ties. Now, former linebacker for the Vikings, Blake Lynch. Lynch is not actually on the Chiefs right now, but did appear in a couple of games, was released back in early January for the Chiefs, and also a current member of the, I guess you'll say, coaching staff for the Chiefs is St. Olaf men's hockey alum and a Wayzata native, Mark Richards. He's actually a football research analyst for Kansas City. Cool. Now, of those 2 guys for each side, which is more deserved to win the Super Bowl, Scene and Muse or Lynch and Richards for Kansas City?
Real quick, I really don't have any ill will towards any or Scene or Muse. I just think it just didn't work out. And the Vikings they didn't see it from Scene. I think he played really well in his last preseason game.
He got hurt. Too early in his career.
Yeah, and the injury too. But yeah, I'd say those two. No offense to Blake Lynch or Mark Richards. I have no idea who Mark Richards is, but he is. Again, if he's from Minnesota, that's awesome. So that's the thing. We respect it. But yeah, I'm gonna go Lewis C, Nick Muse, because seen a lot of heartbreak with our Minnesota Vikings. So yeah, I'll go with those two. So.
Yeah, I'll do the same as well with Lewis Cine. Of course, he suffered that devastating leg injury. I think it was 2022 when they played the Saints overseas, that double doink game in London.
Yes.
And then Nick Muse, he got released on his birthday this year for the Vikings.
Yeah.
More salt in the wound there. I got to throw it that way, but I definitely wouldn't be mad to the other side on top of it. Anyway, you can get a Division III hockey player to win a Super Bowl as a member of the coaching staff, I'll take it as well. But I'm going to go Nick Muse and Lewis Cine for this one.
Easy enough. All right, It is that time. Let's do our predictions.
Time for the main event, folks.
The main event. There is a lot to be said through this. So, with that being said, let's start with myself. Since last year, Voldy, you started, and then I did it. So let's switch it up. I'll go me. And then we'll go from there. So, with this Super Bowl matchup, again, we were going back and forth on this. Right? Everybody was. Matt Fowler mentioned it. So did Eric Moser. But these two teams are very, very good. Don't get me wrong. You have a team that is almost ready to make history, and you can't fault them that much because they are very talented. They have the best coaches in the game. Not even Matt Nagy. I'm sorry, I didn't even want to go there. But you have Andy Reid, you have Steve Spagnuolo, who have done a phenomenal job with Kansas City Chiefs. This whole dynasty. No matter how you feel about them, and again, they don't give a crap either way. And we can piss and moan until the cows come home, but my beef is more with the NFL referees and the NFL than the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going out there just playing, man. But these past few Super Bowls, this team has found ways to win. There have been times where it's been very tough for them to get by San Francisco, to get by a team like the Eagles at that time too, with Kelsey brothers going at it and all that stuff. And then beating the Niners twice, even in the Super Bowl. So, you got to respect that, but you look at this Eagles team, and there was a time on MinneZona Sports Live, Voldy, that you and I both thought, the Eagles are screwed. They're out of sorts. Sirianni's going to get fired and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Granted, I do not like Nick Sirianni. I just he has that face and just kind of how he's gone about things. But you cannot, you cannot ignore the fact that they've, done something incredible, especially with one Saquon Barkley, over 2,000 yards, yada, yada, yada. So I went back and forth on this a lot. And I took the Chiefs last year. My record before that wasn't great. I think I was like 1-3, 1-4 until then. Now I've upped it, and whatnot. And Voldy, you've been very good with your picks here.
Didn't do so well last year, so yeah.
It is what it is. So bringing up last year, there was a comment that I made, and I think it remains true to this day. There is a thing, zoners, and again, this isn't me just bringing this person up or anything like that, because I think this is true. The Cousins curse. So, this year, the Falcons took on the Chiefs and the Eagles. Voldy, the Kansas City Chiefs were one called pass interference away from losing that game.
Yes, they
to the Falcons and Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
But they ended up winning.
Yes.
The Eagles were one first down away, and Saquon dropped the ball.
They did.
And Kirk Cousins led a comeback and beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's right.
So,
Monday Night Football.
A lot of people are just, I mean, there's just too much. I feel like there's too much right with the Chiefs. They know how to win. They've been there before, and 15's going to get them there. Kelsey, the whole kit and caboodle. So I am, in fact, going to not go with the Kansas City Chiefs and go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, the Eagles will win, Voldy, 35-31. Yes. The Philadelphia Eagles. Look, I got this hat from my aunt from Philadelphia. I didn't ask for it. Let me tell you something. I did not ask for it. But again, with that generosity and everything like that, I did take the Eagles last time they played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But it's not the sole reason why, but I just think it's Saquon's time, man. It is Saquon's time, and I feel like he's going to prove it to the Chiefs tonight, and I think they'll have enough to get it done. So give me the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds. I still hate almost 95% of your fans, the 5%, my uncle, my aunt, the whole Philly family there. And again, thank you. Very cool hat, by the way. Check it out. I mean, seriously.
That is pretty nice.
Pretty nice. And, Voldy, you're going to like this. I have not opened this as well, but this was another gift that I was not expecting. But check it out.
New Heights. Love it.
New Heights.
Very
yes.
cool.
Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. Was not expecting that. And, yes, I've seen a lot of, clips and stuff. It is funny. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I thoroughly
It's very
enjoy
funny. So I am going Eagles 35-31. I got the hat on, but it will only be till the end of the night. This comes off, and we got Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, baby. But
I like it.
I got the Eagles. Voldy, your turn.
Last year I really did pick against the Chiefs just because America wanted San Francisco to win. And I am of that same mindset yet again with America really centering around the enemy of my enemy is also my friend. And Philadelphia is that enemy. But at the same time, you look at it, you want a guy like Saquon Barkley to say, I am a Super Bowl champion. With all the years that he had suffered with the Giants, trying to make them relevant and being a fantastic player that he has been, you really want to root for a guy like that. And there's some other guys on that side for the Eagles. Dallas Goedert knows the grindstone kind of guy. That offensive line with Mailata, Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown has quietly reemerged himself with, of course, him reading books on the sideline to really come through. Jalen Hurts has kind of really personified himself to take all the doubters and try to build on top of that. Nick Sirianni catching it from his fans left, right, and center throughout the season, but this is them even winning, and they're still upset by how they've been winning. You look on the other sideline, you see greatness personified, and that bothers people a lot when it comes to, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, Chris Jones. People don't like greatness for some reason, and they look back at the time with the Steelers in the 70s. You look at the Niners in the 80s. You look at how things turned out with the Cowboys in the 90s and the Patriots in the 2000s and the early 2010s. People do not like greatness, and they don't want to be thrown in that same category. Chiefs fatigue is a real thing, and I want to say, on top of everything that is thrown into it at the same time, Matt, they do say that great minds think alike.
Ooh.
I don't want to do it. I really don't. I gotta do it. I don't want to, but I'm throwing this out there at the same time. Eagles fly on the road to another Super Bowl loss.
Whoa!
Give me the Chiefs in this three-peat. Greatness is a real thing. Patrick Mahomes has got a long way to go. He's got some time. He's got the weapons. He's got the Illuminati and the refs on his side. In the great words of a man from Kansas City, Tech 9 once said it. Kingdom, Red Kingdom. Give me the Chiefs, 31-27. The three-peat. Pat Riley is going to be cashing in big time. Go Chiefs. Welcome to the Red Kingdom. Go Chiefs.
Wow. That was probably one of my favorites. I mean, I love this segment because at first you're thinking like, okay, that's the leaning and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But when you mentioned layers, when you had that first, I'm like, he's changing it. I know he's changing it. But
I am sweating so bad right now because I'm thankful those jerseys actually fit on top of each other. But I'm so sweating right now. It's a bad thing I'm wearing a white shirt too, because a white jersey, because it's gonna come out with some sweat stains by the end of everything.
You might, you very well might. But that was awesome though. And again, like I said, I'm fine with whatever, to be honest.
Exactly. I'm not gonna be upset whoever wins. I'll be annoyed for a couple hours, but then back to work, back to life.
I'll be happy for my fam if they end up the Eagles winning and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, like I want happiness for people, but the thing is damn it, I want our Vikings to be there. Good Lord, yes, I'm sick and tired of just sitting here, just not being able to watch my team in a damn Super Bowl. Come on, please
do something.
But anyway, that'll wrap up our Super Bowl special. Voldy's got the Chiefs. I got the Eagles. The Super Bowl halftime show will be interesting. I am very much looking forward to watching Kendrick and SZA as well. And again, I will say, and this is, I really don't care. I like both music from Kendrick and Drake. I mean, I'm not in that mindset of the beef and all that stuff. It's like, listen, I just like music in general. I love both tracks from both Kendrick and Drake. Mm-hmm. And if he plays Not Like Us, well, there's going to be a lot of upset people.
You gotta lead off with that one. I mean,
yeah, and you got to be careful of not calling Drake. Something that starts with a P. We're not going to say it on here because I don't feel comfortable saying it here. But, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I really am. Of course. So it should be good. So, anyway, we will be back on Wednesday. We will be talking more about this Super Bowl, whether who wins, who loses, the whole deal. And thank you to Eric Moser, Matt Fowler for coming on today. It'll be interesting to see this game. It'll be fun. Voldy and I will go back and forth. We'll talk about our over-unders, things like that. So, with that being said, as always, remember, folks, keep in the zone.
Holla.
Thank you for watching MinneZona Sports Live. Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for live show broadcast. And as Voldy likes to say, follow us on all the socials medias.